Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
We will do that. It has been a while since I've sat in this chair. Had a, as Coach Altman described it, lovely travel day with men's basketball yesterday. Got fogged out, which meant that I called Ryan last night, 2 nights ago now, feels like it was last night, said, hey, Ryan, can you host the show? Yes, I got you. Okay, great. So that means that we've got a lot of things that I was planning on covering yesterday to do on the show today. And we also have a full show today, including Chris Clayton talking with Sofia Bell. Big one for women's basketball tonight. Chance for a big-time win between two teams that are ranked inside the top 25 in the net. Oregon at number 11, Iowa at Carver Hawkeye Arena, 6 p.m. in Iowa City. That means a 5:30 pregame show with Chris Clayton. It's televised on Fox Sports 1. He had a great chat here in the Country Financial Studio with Sofia Bell. We've got that for you. Also, our Toyota Coaches Show series begins with Kelly Graves, and today, Dana Altman. We'll have that conversation with Coach Altman coming up. And Nils Schyllander joins us as Oregon men's tennis takes on Portland State tonight. It is match day for Oregon men's tennis. They've got 3 coming up in the next 4 days. How about that for Oregon men's tennis? They're off to a 2-0 start this season. The head coach, Nils Schyllander, is going to join us. And we begin today with some updates around Oregon football. There's been a lot of updates around Oregon football. Let's begin with head coach Dan Lanning announcing promotions for Chris Hampton to defensive coordinator and Drew Maringer to offensive coordinator here today. Hampton just completed his 3rd season at Oregon, was a co-defensive coordinator and secondary coach for the Ducks. Maringer was the co-offensive coordinator and the tight ends coach for the Ducks here in all 4 of his seasons in Eugene. He's been with Coach Lanning, I should say, in all 4 seasons that Coach Lanning's been here in Eugene. Hampton and Maringer helped the Ducks with 13-2 record this year, ended in the college football playoff semifinals. Coach Lanning saying, quote, Chris and Drew have been tremendous coaches and leaders since joining our program and are more than deserving of taking these next steps in their career. They have each done an unbelievable job of helping our student athletes excel both on and off the field. We are thrilled to be able to promote them to our coordinator roles and maintain the momentum we have created. How about that? Great stuff from Coach Lanning talking about Drew Maringer and Chris Hampton. Hampton has played a key role in some of the most dominant defensive seasons in program history. Since Hampton arrived in 2023, Oregon is 7th nationally in scoring defense and 8th in passing defense, also number 10 among FBS teams in that span in opponent completion percentage and number 7 in opponent passer rating. Coach Hampton said, quote, I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to be the defensive coordinator at the University of Oregon. I want to thank Coach Lanning, Rob Mullins, and the administration for their trust and belief in me. This program is built on great players and, more importantly, great people. I'm excited to go work with our guys every day and compete for championships. Meanwhile, for Oregon, I will say, offensively, Drew Maringer has been excellent for the Ducks. He joined Coach Lanning's inaugural coaching staff in 2022, and since, the Ducks have been outstanding. Oregon's offense leads the nation in points per game since 2022, touchdowns and total yards and completion percentage. He said, quote, I am very excited about the opportunity to serve as Oregon's next offensive coordinator, honored that Coach Lanning and Rob Mullins believe that I am the right person for the job, and I look forward to continuing to build on what we have accomplished over the last 4 seasons. The plan is to continue to have one of the most dynamic offenses in college football, utilizing the strong connection we have built. Coach Lanning promoting Coach Maringer and Coach Hampton. Offensive coordinator Drew Maringer, defensive coordinator Chris Hampton, as the Ducks continue their off-season after what a year it was. This is the first time that I have sat in this chair since returning from Atlanta after heading to Nebraska with the men's basketball team. And I can tell you, I had a lot of time to think about it and reflect. And I follow all the same reports that you all do, but let me just get my disclaimer in here that with all the transfer portal and compliance and everything that happens during the offseason, remember, on this show, because of our affiliation with the University of Oregon Athletic Department, got to wait until everything is official. The I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, because I don't want our friend Jody Sykes, Chief Compliance Officer, to send me an email saying, hey, Joey, that's an NCAA compliance violation. We don't like those. So just know, I follow all the same reports that you do. And let's just say that the transfer portal, it's what it is at this point. But what a year it was, and what's ahead. So Kenyon Sadiq, Dylan Thieneman, Malik Benson announcing that they're heading to the NFL. Let me just say to all three of those guys, best of luck, huh? Best of luck. Pro Ducks. Oregon has been very successful in the professional ranks over the last few years in particular. The transfer portal does wrap up soon. I'm sure many of you that follow recruiting will see everything that happens around the transfer portal and when things get official, but we do know that it's official. Dante Moore announcing yesterday that he is coming back. That gives an outlook for the roster. You figure Coach Maringer is excited to have his quarterback back. Certainly he loses one of his tight ends, but Jamari Johnson saying he's going to be back. I think it's a tight end group that's deep. Pass catchers, I think you like what you have for the Ducks. Running backs, a lot of youth after they were admittedly banged up heading into the Peach Bowl and dealt with injuries all throughout the year. But I think you like what you have at that position. Offensive line, Poncho saying right away he's going to come back. I think Coach Maringer has a lot of pieces. The roster outlook looks strong. Ducks will continue to build some depth here. And remember, the freshman recruiting class is not totally done until February. Who knows what the Ducks will do on the recruiting trail over the next few weeks heading into the second signing day, which is the first Wednesday in February, National Signing Day across college football. Defensively, Bear Alexander already saying he's going to come back. Maury Washington, right? You have so many pieces returning with guys like Mateo Uyunglele, Tatum Tuioti. Sure, Dylan Thieneman says, hey, I'm headed to the NFL. But look at what Aaron Flowers did in his development this last year. I know, slightly different safety position, but you feel good, I think, at the cornerback position. And then your defensive coordinator is the guy that coached the secondary. Chris Hampton, of course, he knows exactly what he's got with those pieces. I think that the Ducks have a great roster outlook moving forward. I realize that you're hearing that on a show called Duck Insider that is literally coming to you live from inside the athletic department at the University of Oregon. But does anyone really disagree with me that top-end talent is still really good, returning from a college football playoff semifinal? How about that? Now, here's the other piece of football news that I anticipate in the next few weeks. A Big Ten schedule. Probably will have soon the entire Big Ten football schedule. Generally, that comes out sometime around this time of year. Wouldn't surprise me. You wait till after the national championship game, which, by the way, from my chair, best of luck to Miami and best of luck to Indiana. You want to win the last one. It's hard to win the last one. Best of luck to those two teams squaring off on Monday. You know, someone mentioned to me that because it is Martin Luther King Day on Monday, that I am hereby required to inform everyone that Monday is in fact my birthday. January 19th is my birthday. And yes, we did discuss as a broadcast crew that what a birthday present that would be. Could happen still. However, I am one. And not just because it's my birthday. Dusty Hara, I know you're about to text me this unless I qualify. Oh, he just texted me right now. Literally texting me right now. It is not just because it's my birthday that I also support changing the calendar around for college football. This is just me talking. Nobody quote this and say, University of Oregon representative says. No, this is just me and my opinion. I do not represent the U of O in this moment. However, I know that the head coach at the University of Oregon for football agrees with this because he has been very open about wanting that calendar to move up. The transfer portal being open while teams are still playing football and playing for a national championship. That is really, really difficult. And I'll just say, I am a proponent of everything that Coach Lanning has said. Not just because it's my birthday, Dusty. But the D1 Council also just did this. The convention's going on right now. And the D1 Council also just did this for basketball. The portal is now 15 days, and it'll open the day after the national title game for men's basketball. A 5-day waiting period for the portal to open after a new head coach is hired. Give that new head coach time to figure out what the roster is going to look like. Talk to the student athlete so they can make the best decision. And mid-year transfers are not eligible to play. Those are just some of the takeaways from the revision that the D1 Council released yesterday. So my point here is there's a lot in college athletics, and there's a lot of movement and minutia and levers that get pulled that trigger some other conveyor belt down the line. But we're getting there in basketball. I, for one, in basketball, agree that the portal should not be open until the national title game is concluded. It just makes sense. It can be done. And here's hoping that some of those things get ironed out and we get back to what the core of this is, that is just, let's build a roster and play some football. Women's basketball coming up tonight. Big one against Iowa. Sofia Bell talking with our Chris Clayton. We'll get a timeout, come back, continue to talk about football. Don't worry, but a big one for women's basketball tonight here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs is probably the best you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in Oregon. Oh, I left my heart in Oregon. Yeah, I left my heart in Oregon.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Oregon women's basketball is on the road at Iowa tonight. 2 teams inside the top 25 in the net. 5:30 pregame show with Chris Clayton. He earlier talked with Sofia Bell, part of our interview series with both men's and women's basketball, brought to you by Toyota. Sofia Bell talking with Chris Clayton, getting ready for tonight.
Great timing for this conversation as we talk with Sofia Bell. 6 made threes on Sunday against Michigan State. I know, in the press conference and interviews you always talk about, I just wanted to win, but it was pretty cool. Career high 6 made threes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It was nice to, get off to a hot start, and my teammates were finding me when I was open. So, yeah, it was exciting, obviously. And being able to hit those, yeah, it's really fun.
Can you feel before the game, maybe it's in warm-ups, that you have the hot hand, like, oh, my shot feels good today?
Sometimes. I mean, it's hard to tell. I try to stay consistent in my warm-up and have it be the same every game, and then going into the game, just trying to feel as confident as I can. But yeah, you really never know.
Right. Well, and in general this year, your three-point percentage is way up. It's up like 8 points. You're at about 40% this season. What has gone into that you've been so much more consistent from out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think just staying on balance, shooting when I'm open and just having a lot of confidence to shoot the ball, which my teammates give me. And then obviously the off-season work and, just lots of reps.
Yeah, the three-point shooting is the topic of conversation right now because you just made 6 on Sunday. But in general, Coach Graves has talked a lot about the defensive presence that you bring to this team, whether it's the top of the zone or it's player to player. How much pride do you take in your defensive impact?
A lot. I mean, I'm definitely a very defensive-minded player. I take a lot of pride in my matchups and wanting to get stops. So, it's super important to me, and like the coaching staff has given me a lot of confidence in doing that. And then, our teammates are just working really hard, and so it's a lot of fun.
Well, speaking of defensive matchups, you had a tough one last week against USC. Jazzy Davidson, a rising star in college basketball. You defended her a lot of times individually, one-on-one, and as a team, you came away with a clutch win down the stretch, and it was a really incredible moment in the locker room. I want you to watch back this video as Sabrina Ionescu was on hand, wanted to highlight you.
Y'all didn't celebrate one person that needs to be celebrated in here, and that's Sofia.
Good work today, family. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
That's amazing. Just brings a smile to your face. I mean, what did that feel like to have the GOAT just say, "Hey, everybody, stop. Let's talk about Sofia"?
I mean, it felt awesome. I've been watching her since she was in high school and look up to her a lot. And she is what created the success of this program. So I mean, it meant a lot, and really exciting. I played on the same club team that she played for too. So. Yeah, it was a cool moment.
That's cool. Do you think everybody could kind of feel her presence there in the front row?
Definitely. I mean, it's hard to miss. Yeah.
Right. That's amazing. Well, that was special with what you were able to do defensively in that game. What do you think has been the biggest growth for you defensively this season? I mean, obviously you've made an impact your whole career, but it feels like it's taken another step this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think a lot of it has just been a better communicator. And really being confident in my ability to defend, and then, working hard to try to lead my teammates. I think it's really just a confidence thing, and then trying to be a more vocal leader.
It's funny, talking to Coach Graves and a lot of the coaches, they always say, yeah, Sofia, she just never looks tired. I'm sure you probably are tired sometimes, but especially for maybe some of the younger athletes, what goes into your training where you're able to have such great stamina and keep that energy level up throughout the game?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I try to push my cardio in the off season. We do a lot of, conditioning. And so working really hard and making sure that I'm pushing myself every day, because I know obviously in close games, like you need it, and that's what it really can come down to. So just working hard, honestly running a lot. Yeah.
You just run like long distance?
No, I'll do more like sprinting and or run lines, that type of stuff.
Maybe I'm overthinking here, but you have a strong tennis background. You're a state champion at Jesuit High School. Does that help you anyway physically? Maybe it's lateral movement, or how does that factor in?
Yeah, I mean, my parents always emphasized playing multiple sports growing up, just for the cross training. But yeah, tennis definitely helps with lateral movement. I haven't played since high school, but I've played a lot of pickleball, which is kind of similar.
Yeah. A little easier on the joints.
Yeah, similar lateral movement and stuff. So, it definitely helps, and I've played a lot. So
we're continuing our conversation here with Sofia Bell. Over the course of your career, the system has changed a little bit, right? Your first year, a tough year in terms of win-losses, but a little bit more of a slow-paced defensive team. Last year was kind of a gritty, grindy, slower-paced team. This year you like to run a little bit more. Mm-hmm. What's that been like evolving into different systems just in your third year with the Ducks?
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. This group obviously likes to get out and go, and we have a lot of people who can run the floor well, so it's been fun playing that type of style. But I mean, yeah, it's been cool to kind of win different ways, and that's kind of what you have to do to have success because every game's a little different. But it's been a lot of fun.
And we're talking a lot about what you do on the court, but you've also accomplished a lot already off the court. In 2 years, you already completed your bachelor's, and that was in a business degree with a focus in finance, and you're working on your master's. My first question, how did you get it done in 2 years while being a Division I student athlete? That's incredible time management.
Yeah, I mean, I came in with a little bit of credit, and kind of that first summer took some extra classes, and then from there really just like loaded up with an extra class or two each term, and then had a pretty heavy load this summer between my freshman and sophomore year. So yeah, I mean, it was able to work out, and I kind of had the right classes coming in to knock some things out of the way. But yeah, it was nice that it worked out and cool that I could do a 2-year grad program here.
Yeah, well, we throw around the term work ethic a lot with athletes, and you obviously have it on the court and off, too, academically. Where do you think that comes from, that you take so much pride in your academics as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom set a pretty good example for me. They haven't like pushed me hard academically, but definitely people I look up to. And then, yeah, just trying to build good habits and staying consistent has definitely helped a lot.
Do you have a specific goal in mind with what you're going to do with your degrees?
I mean, I definitely want to stay working in sports, either for a team or league or for a product company. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And I also wanted to ask you in terms of on the subject of time management, these long road trips, because it's apt to talk about right now. You've got a trip coming up. You're playing at Iowa and then at Wisconsin. Last year was the first year in the Big Ten, some basically week-long road trips. Is there anything you learned from those experiences last year to maybe help you withstand these 6-day trips and have the energy necessary to perform well?
I mean, sleep is super important. So making sure I'm getting enough sleep on the road, and then, making sure that academics aren't going to be a stressor. So trying to get schoolwork done beforehand and communicate with professors. And then, yeah, just trying to adjust to the time change as quick as possible. Yeah, those are all important.
One thing that I've noticed, just to look behind the curtain, there's not always Wi-Fi on the planes. The planes are very nice, not complaining, but I think about from your perspective, if you have class stuff to do, you even more have to work around whether or not you have access to Wi-Fi, right?
Right, yeah. Download, like, the notes beforehand. And,
right.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Well, as you look forward to the rest of the season, as a team, you guys are in a great spot, some impressive wins, some great performances. What do you think is the biggest area you still want to see the team grow and improve to achieve your goals in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think really just being consistent through all 4 quarters. Obviously, in the USC and Michigan game, we were down quite a bit and able to claw our way back. And then, yesterday kind of giving away a bit of a lead. So just trying to be consistent and play well all 4 quarters, I think, is something we can work to improve on.
Well, you got plenty of opportunities, too, since some terrific teams in the Big Ten. You are one of 3 remaining players, counting now Coach Peyton Scott, in the 3rd year with the program. There's been such heavy turnover. So I think Duck fans have grown to be able to love to watch you play over the years. So we appreciate you coming in and really look forward to what you're going to accomplish on and off the court.
Thank you. Go Ducks.
Sofia Bell talking with Chris Clayton. Outstanding. Timeout when we come back from the women's team to the men's basketball team as the Ducks get ready to take on Michigan. Coach Altman's here after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back in the Country Financial Studio, I'm Joey Mack. It's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Part of our Toyota Coaches Show series. We talk with Dana Altman and Kelly Graves all throughout conference season for men's and women's basketball. Our first chat with Coach Altman coming off what was admittedly a tough one against Nebraska. The Ducks are beat up right now, and hey, it's a big opportunity for some guys to step up. Our conversation, I talked with Coach Altman this morning. Our first conversation with Coach Altman for the Toyota Coaches Show this year. And, Coach, zooming out, I know it's been an up-and-down season. Just take us through the year and where you're at heading into a home matchup here against Michigan.
Well, it's been tough on the fellas, been tough on our fans. Injury bug. We were fortunate last year, got through a year pretty much unscathed. And this year, Jackson breaks his hand before the season. Now he's having problems with it again. Nate just hadn't been the same since he sprained his ankle, and we're having an MRI on his foot today after the Nebraska game. He went down early in that game, tried to fight through it. He wasn't doing very well, and so we didn't play him the second half much at all. Played him the first couple minutes, and I could tell he was really in some pain. So hopefully that's not requiring surgery, but no, it's just been one of those years where we can't get everybody on the floor. We haven't played a conference game with, the three guys we knew coming into the year that we had to have play well. Nate, Jackson, two preseason all-conference guys, and KJ, and we just never been able to get them on the floor. We had a little stretch there around Christmas where we did, and, I thought we were making some progress. Had a couple good ball games there. Played Gonzaga okay, just didn't get the defensive stops when we needed them. Came back, played, I thought pretty good against Omaha, and I thought we were getting ready for some things. And Jackson went down against Omaha, and we just haven't been able to bounce back.
Well, like you said, it's one of those years. And even KJ gets sick, right? When it rains, it pours sometimes for
him. He really struggled there for a couple weeks. I know there's a lot of people with viruses and flu going around, but KJ got sick when we got back from Vegas there, and really was out for quite a while. He was really sick.
Well, and then, so with all that said, though, opportunity ahead here, right? That's how you have to look at it, I'd imagine, moving forward for guys, right?
Well, we got to try to keep them together, try to, continue to play. I know the guys, like I said, are frustrated, and, but we're judged how we handle adversity.
Sure.
And this is one of those years where we're facing a lot of it. We've got a really tough schedule coming up, so it doesn't get any easier. The guys are just going to have to fight back, and it's not going to be easy. Nate's not going to play for a while. Even if we get positive news on the MRI, he's out for a while. Jackson, that hand's bothering him, and he wants to play, but he's in pain, and he can't. It's his right hand, so he can't dribble, can't shoot. So, we're just going to have to fight it. The guys are going to have to step up, play a little better, try to keep ourselves in ball games and find a way to win.
Well, the obvious question now is how does it impact your rotation? I mean, I know it's still early yet, right, Coach, to try to sort through who plays more. How do you rotate guys now at this point?
Well, Jackson and Nate were our 2 most minute guys on the team. Took the most shots on the team. So, there's going to be a lot of minutes available. Big E's going to have to step up, play a lot more, and he's ready for that challenge. I'm going to give Sasha more minutes. I've given everybody else a chance. I haven't given him an opportunity as much. So we're going to see what he can do. But different guys just going to have to step up, play really hard. We got to cut the mistakes, though. 23 to 4 points off turnovers the other night against Nebraska. And, part of that is Jackson being out. But, our guards are experienced enough now. We can't turn the ball over like we're turning it over. Yeah. Lack of fundamentals, guys trying to make plays that just aren't there. So, we're going to have to do a better job of securing the ball, handling the ball, because that's 2 or 3 games now where our points off turnovers have just not even given us an opportunity to win the game.
We'll talk about all those guys, and there's so many of different moments where people can step up. But how about Takai for you this year, Coach? I know we talked about this a little bit during our pregame conversation before Nebraska. He's had some bright spots for you.
Yeah, he has. He's been a little up and down, but no, we're asking him to do a lot, especially since Jackson, was out before the season, and now that he's out, he's had to take on a big role, play a lot of minutes. We're asking him to do a lot. And, when we brought him in, we weren't anticipating that big of a role for him. But like I said, everything's changed.
And same thing with Waylon, I'd imagine, right? I mean, it's changed for him too.
Drastically. When we brought Way in, it was play 5-10 minutes, give Jackson a break, maybe give TK a break, play, 2 point guards down the stretch. And get him through this year, and then maybe the role grows in the future. But when Jackson went down preseason, it changed, and now it drastically changed. But, Way's made steps, but, it's really unfair to him. He wasn't here all summer, doesn't start practice till October. It's a totally different game than what he played in China. That's the first 1 to 120. They don't guard very well. They, just a lot of up and down, throwing the ball up, and that's kind of the way everybody wants to play. But that's not the way we need to play to put ourselves in a position to win. Yeah. So, been a big adjustment for him.
I haven't even asked you too. We talk about the rotation changes. I think it's maybe gotten lost for some fans is that Devon Pryor has had some ups and downs health wise too. That's impacted the rotation.
Yeah, he started the season. We were going to start him at the 3 and pulled a groin and was out a long time and really hasn't been able to get back. Still not practicing full speed and all that. Those groin injuries are tough, and especially with a guy that has to use his athleticism, to maximize what he can do. So that's slowed him down.
Well, I'll say this about the athleticism, like Luke describes him often as a pogo stick coach. I mean, that's what he can do for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He totally depends on athleticism, for his game. And with the groin, pull, that's awfully tough to do.
Yeah. You touched on Sasha maybe giving you some opportunity here, and then Dez, I haven't asked you about Dez too. Those guys, an opportunity's here for both of them.
Absolutely. Dez has been really up and down for us. He's had some good ball games. He needs to get after it harder, but he's coming off shoulder surgery last year, and I tell guys when you sit out 6-7 months, you got to do a lot of extra to catch up. And, we got to get him more active defensively and use his length a little bit more for deflections.
Well, you talk about all the keys. I know I always end every conversation we have with that. Well, zoom out for us, Coach. Just, he's talked about cutting turnovers and cutting those mistakes. What else is on your mind for some keys here?
Well, anybody who's watched the last 2 games, offensive rebounds have really hurt us. Ohio State, pulled away in the second half with offensive rebounds. It's hard to believe the Nebraska game was 28-28 with, 3 or 4 minutes to go in the first half. And, a couple turnovers and an offensive rebound, 8 quick points, and the game really changed. And then to start the second half, turnover 3, so 11 of those points in that 14-point run came off turnovers and offensive rebounds. So those are things you got to be able to control, and we haven't controlled them. And that's as much on me as it is on them. You got to make better decisions, and our guys just haven't made them.
Well, I got to tell you, Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat. I know it's been up and down, and thanks for doing it. Thanks for taking the time to come over and chat with us.
Well, we had a wonderful travel day. You were part of that. Get fogged out and can't fly out after the game, fly out the next day, have to go to Redmond and bus back. So it was a long couple days for the fellas.
I didn't think I'd get the scenic route through Redmond this time of year, Coach. Coming over the pass, it was nice.
Well, I don't know about nice, but
it's just part of the deal, isn't it?
Yeah, the travel, is tough.
Yeah, well, here's to a good one against Michigan.
All righty, thanks.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Altman, I appreciated that he could have a little bit of fun with that. It was, admittedly, I mean, stuff happens, It happens when you're traveling. That happened to the Ducks yesterday. Coming up, men's tennis doesn't have to travel. They're at home for the next few days, and they're off to a 2-0 start. Their head coach, Nils Schyllander, we're going to chat with him next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Tennis season is officially here as we welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Nils Schyllander is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Coach.
God, what an introduction.
Thanks
I like
for
it.
coming over.
Yeah,
this is great.
Appreciate you.
I got to tell everybody, on a match day, right? So we were just even discussing during the break, like, you guys have a workout in the morning. You get ready, and then you're going to play tonight. And Coach said, no, I'm going to come over to the Country Financial Studio. I'm going to hang out with everybody and talk about a 2-0 start to the fall season.
Could anyone turn you down? You got to be crazy to turn you down. It's the highlight of the day.
That's nice of you to lie like
Yeah.
that. That's really nice. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I got to tell you, Coach Schyllander, whenever I ask, he's always like, yeah, we're going to do this, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Like I said, can't turn you down.
When do y'all play the Huskies this year?
March 21st. Everybody knows. Freshman knows. Sophomore knows. Junior knows. Seniors knows. You know, that's part of the recruiting process.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
If they know what it's all about, then they're the Duck.
So you're serious. Like, you talk about this even on the recruiting process.
Of course.
See, That's a guy that believes in rivalries. This has become the running theme that your history with international soccer compared to the States. You like a good rivalry. We know.
That's the best thing in sports.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Live for those rivalries.
Makes it fun. It makes it fun. All right, now to review the fall season, Coach.
Yep.
And you're off to a 2-0 start so far. Tell us about your team so far. What have you seen from them?
It's a pretty new team. A lot of newcomers, a lot of freshmen, a couple of transfers, but very talented. It was great to get the reps in last weekend. For an opening weekend, I thought we look about the process and the execution and playing kind of against ourselves early in the year to see where our standards are, because we got to play to our standards. And I was very pleased. Between Saturday and Sunday. I mean, Saturday was pretty good, but Sunday was really clean. I just liked the way we played, and we definitely got better.
I mean, you won 7-0 in the first matchup with UC Riverside. Turn around and play again and win 7-0 the next day. Are there unique challenges with that, Coach? Like when you turn around and play the same team right away like that?
Not this early in the year.
Really?
And if you look at the team match, every matchup was different too.
Yeah, sure.
So the way it turned out, nobody played the same against the same opponent, and it was good. Like I said, I was just happy with how much better we got over one night. Just get those jitters out, and hopefully we can take it one more step this weekend.
Football coaches talk all the time that the biggest improvement over the course of a season is from game 1 to game 2.
Yes.
Is that true with your sport? Like, does it happen that fast?
I mean, it
just because you play somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, it's the best practice you can get, right? Is live action.
Right.
And our doubles get remarkably better. I mean, we're less timid, more aggressive, and I like the way we played. A lot more aggressive day 2 than we did day 1.
Right. Then we were talking too during the break that you have a quick start to this season, and that you play Portland State Thursday, then Portland on Saturday, and then Portland State again on Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Like that it's just, hey, we got to keep playing. You got to keep playing.
Yeah. I mean, the way our schedule goes, because next week we're down at Stanford for national indoors, which is basically like the NC2A indoor tournament, which we qualified for. So you're going to have the top teams in the country. So our regionals is down at Stanford. So we're going to face I think Stanford's top 5. I'm not sure we're going to play them. We play Rice, who's a very good team.
And then either Stanford or Utah.
And then either Stanford or Utah. And all 4 teams are nationally ranked. So to get these 5 matches in is huge for us.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because it is a little bit unique in the way that the tennis schedule sets up, right? You and I have talked about this before. Like, you're playing a year-long sport at the collegiate
100%.
level, right? And I guess at the professional level in a lot of ways too. When you have matchups like that so early in your spring season, as we talk here in winter, how does the schedule shake out for us? Like, tell fans about how it all works.
As for just during the school year, obviously the whole fall it's individual, but it's concluded by an NC2A championship for the top individuals. And then you basically go into your finals, go home for break. You got about a month away but these athletes are, they have goals, so they usually go and compete on their own. Like, before you go into the team season, for example, this year, Lachlan and Pierre were in Hawaii playing. And Pierre went on down to California, where he met up with Vlad and Russell, and they played there.
Cool.
Sam was over in France, and they've been playing all over. Daniel was playing over in the UK. So there really was no break.
Sure.
They were just on their own. And now, obviously, we had 1 week of practice before our first duel last week. And, we added someone to the roster, too. Cameron Burton Jr. Actually, we call him Big Bert.
Big Bert?
Yeah, he's Big Bert.
That's the reverse.
Yeah, so little Bert is a junior this year, and Big Bert's a freshman.
Are they good with these nicknames, by the way?
Big Bert is, Little Bert's not.
That's how it works.
So
Look, I'm a big believer you can't give yourself your own nickname, right?
No, exactly, and we've told him, you're Little Bert. Next thing is we got to get the nameplates on the lockers changed to Big Bird and Little Bird, because then there's no going back, right?
Going back. Yeah,
there's no going back.
You're committed. I got to tell you a little inside the broadcast. So Will Patterson, the SID for men's tennis, he and I have already strategized. Like, we got to get both Berts. I've called them both Berts.
All right. Well, you know what? If you we get to them both in here, but you got to refer to the freshie as Big Bird.
Okay.
Then you got him.
If I do that, will I get decked? Like, are they going to hit a ball at me?
Have you seen Little Bird? He ain't going to deck you. He ain't gonna dick you.
I want everyone. It's on record. I did not say it. I asked for the self-defense.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not quick enough with the racket, coach.
He ain't gonna dick you. He's not gonna dick you.
Okay, that's good. I like it.
know?
We continue with Nils Schyllander. I'm glad though that we can have fun like this because one thing I've always loved about you and the way that you go about with your team, Coach, like. Coach Schylander's always like, hey, I want to bring the guys in, like do an interview with them, which I appreciate because that's what this is all about, right? Is having a little bit of fun.
100%.
You want to win, but I know you like to have fun out there with your guys.
But I mean, we're relationship coaches too, both me and Spencer. As long as you work hard, you can have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
And life's too short not to enjoy what you're doing. But as long as when you're practicing and it's all business, then it's to have a good time makes life a lot more enjoyable.
No doubt. Talking tennis with Nils Schyllander, Oregon men's tennis head coach. They've got 3 this weekend at the Student Tennis Center. You want it to be rowdy, I imagine?
100%.
Yeah.
So, Saturday night, I know Portland got a very good team this year. They're senior heavy up top, some really talented players, so we better be ready. Anyone that comes out, please get behind it. This is a fun team to watch, too. It's a lot of characters on this team.
Clearly, as we've already been discussing.
So.
Right? Well, I got to tell you, the character starts at the top, Coach. It starts at the top.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think it's so unique. We've talked about this before, but it's worth repeating as you get rolling with another season. College tennis is unique with the team aspect, which leads to some awesome, just pure joyous celebrations. Right?
That we've seen some good ones over the years.
Oh my goodness!
So.
Like if you have not seen this happen at the Student Tennis Center in collegiate tennis, like. One match will end. It goes your way. One match ends. Maybe it doesn't go your way. Suddenly, everyone gravitates toward that one court that could decide things. I mean,
it gets pretty wild.
And it's unique.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's a spectator sport. For the common fan, you don't think of tennis as a team sport, but it's during college team season, it's in the truest sense.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of shouting going from court to court. And, it's a lot of good interaction, and it gets pretty intense.
I love it. I love it so much. Now, that also being said, I wanted to come back to something that you brought up, how your players will go and compete, right? Because they have goals separately. What are the pros to that? Like, what does that bring to your roster, and how much better do players get when they go and have those experiences?
You feed off each other, right? And your body stays in shape, one. Your mind stays in shape, which is really important because it's hard to go from practice to competing.
There you go.
Just having that mental edge. But, when it's the norm, when you continuous competing, you're going to do well under pressure. And you have the majority of a team doing it. It rubs off, and next thing you know, they're all out there.
Right.
And then they're pushing each other because everybody has goals.
Yeah.
And we're deep this year, and there's a lot of competition for playing time, and it's good.
Tell us a little bit about your roster. What do you like about your team?
Vlad Briasso is just a beast. I mean, anyone that sees him compete, probably not the most gifted athlete in the world, but he is the most gifted athlete in the world in the sense of the mind.
Seems really smart.
Yeah, it's just his mind is just an absolute dog out there. It's hard to find a better competitor. And he just maximizes everything he's got. And so I love that. We have Pierre came in as a transfer, a French guy. I think is 6'6", 6'7", big boy, but, moves like he's 6'1", added a lot. Sam, another French guy, very, very talented. He's going to do great things for us this year. And then Bert has a lot of experience, and he's playing at the highest level I've seen him play right now. So I'm really excited. And Lachlan took a huge step last year. He started getting into the lineup consistently and winning a lot for us last year, and he's taken it up one more level this year. And he's a senior. He wants to go out with a bang. Then we have the youth. We have Will Semler, who's proving day by day, doing great things.
From Portland.
From Portland. He played really well last weekend. Declan transferring from Ohio State has played really well, especially doubles last weekend, was lights out for us. Daniel Hughes, he's got a little bit of that Vlad mentality where he just competes so well. It's a kid from London. And, just goes on. And then we got, Big Bert just joined us about 2 weeks ago, and he's about as talented as they come. He's young, but he's about as talented as they come, and we've seen a huge improvement in a week and a half from him.
Well, something striking about the men's tennis roster, Coach. I mean, it's not very often that this is how it goes. Senior, freshman, freshman, senior, freshman, senior. Like, what a divide. How did that happen, Coach?
Transfer portal, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's new reality, so. And then Russell is actually not a senior. And there's a guy, I don't know if I mentioned him, but, he's been with us for 4 years now. And he redshirted 1 year. Hasn't gotten the most of playing time over the years, but he's taken a huge stride. And I think he went 2-0 last weekend and is looking to do more damage this weekend. And talk about improvement. And that's one of the most as a coach, it's one of the coolest things to see, right?
Right.
Someone that sticks with the process, and all of a sudden it clicks, and he's been playing lights out for us.
That's cool.
He's technically a junior because he's coming back for a fifth year.
So he's got another year.
He's coming back for a fifth.
There you go.
He told me that right before he left for break. He said, Coach, I'm coming back for a fifth. And
Good
I said,
news. Big news update.
Yes.
I like it.
And I go, Russell, you made me very happy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you had. That's right. Send you off into break with that.
I know, right?
That's a good spot to be. I just thought it was amazing. You talk about like experience and a youth movement. And here we are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
And it's good.
Yeah.
The freshmen can definitely learn from the upperclassmen that's been through this before.
No doubt. Nils Schyllander, Oregon men's tennis head coach, tonight. Student Tennis Center against Portland State, 6 o'clock here on a Thursday. Portland Saturday at 5 o'clock, and then Portland State Sunday at noon. Coach, here's to a 3-0 weekend.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
we'll get it done.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, my pleasure. Like I said.
Match day.
Yes. Now we got to get the little Bert and Big Bert.
I'm in. Maybe the whole roster.
Do you have space for everybody here?
Why not?
Let's
find
do
a
it.
way.
Let's do it.
Find a way. In the industry, we would say the peanut gallery, right? In the back. Maybe we just give one microphone to all of them. Nothing could go wrong.
You know what? We're onto something here.
We are onto something.
Have you done
here.
this before?
Not with that big of a roster, but we've done, like some multiple. I think we've gotten like 3 people in here at once before.
We can put the freshmen sitting on the floor in front.
Sure. I mean,
6'7" Pierre in the back.
In the back, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just be off in the corner.
Sounds good.
That's where I belong. Thanks,
all right.
Coach.
Appreciate you.
Time out. When we come back, more Duck Insider. We're getting ready for a busy weekend as a lot of sports, including men's tennis, are ramping up here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love.
Final segment of Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union here on a Thursday. Tomorrow, we've got a number of basketball updates for you. Also, we'll check in with Oregon track and field as the indoor season continues for the Ducks. Oregon's in action in Manhattan, Kansas as part of the Thane Baker Invitational. Some more updates from Oregon indoor track and field season tomorrow. If you're just joining us, Oregon football announcing that Chris Hampton is the new defensive coordinator after serving as the co-DC last year, and Drew Maringer is the offensive coordinator after serving as the co-OC last year. No doubt that both have been impactful on the staff for Coach Maringer since Coach Lanning got here and took the job at Oregon, and for Coach Hampton the last few years. And he was previously a defensive coordinator at Tulane, serving as the co-DC, working with the safeties and the secondary over the last couple years for Chris Hampton. Congratulations to Drew Maringer and Chris Hampton as the Ducks look to keep the momentum going. One of the most balanced teams in the country over the last few years. The Ducks have been statistically the most explosive offense over the last, 4 years, and defensively the Ducks have steadily improved every year in every category for the most part, particularly those that Coach Lanning has focused on. Also, Oregon women's basketball is in action tonight. The Ducks have a big one against Iowa in Iowa City. It's on Fox Sports 1. Chris Clayton has a 5:30 pregame show for you across the Oregon Sports Network. He talked with Sofia Bell. Great conversation. And I want to say thanks again to Nils Schyllander and Coach Altman for taking the time today in the Country Financial Studio. A couple larger picture updates for you to wrap up the show today. NCAA President Charlie Baker, the NCAA convention is going on right now. And so a few takeaways. One, there's actually been a decline in transfer portal entries. I know it may not feel that way, but there's been a decline in transfer portal entries. And he said that I do think that one of the reasons we actually saw a very significant drop in the number of FBS and FCF players, football players who went into the portal in January, it's down like 20%, was because schools finally had a chance to actually talk to kids directly. I thought that was an interesting note from Charlie Baker, the NCAA president, saying that that interaction that is now allowed as things have shifted in the way that you handle recruiting in the transfer portal, that's why that I think some things have dropped down, and he agreed. And then one other thing that talking about basketball on the timeline for potentially expanding the NCAA tournament, he said, quote, "I think we need to get it done sometime this spring, but it'll take a year." It took a year to set it up. One of the big things we all have to figure out is travel, because if we expand the tournament, the travel gets even more interesting. That's Charlie Baker talking about the potential expansion of the NCAA tournament. How about that? Also, Division I Council did approve unanimously the National Collegiate Championships in Acrobatics and Tumbling. D2 and D3, they vote tomorrow. Let's see what happens. See you tomorrow.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.